Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wholesale.fm podcast. We are the original voice of wholesale. I'm your host, Kevin Gallagher, and joining me today on the broadcast is Tracy Hillman of NikiNuLites, and you are the owner of NikiNuLites. So, Tracy, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today. That's awesome.
You're very welcome. I'm really glad to have you here. And tell me a little bit about NikiNuLites. Tell me a little bit about the company, what the focus of the company is, and how long has the company been in business?
You know, NikiNuLites is relatively a new company. We're just over a year old now. We've had a steep growth curve. We've just been selling lights for the past 8 months. We had R&D prior to that, getting all the electrical and the UL listings approved and thus forth.
How difficult has that been?
You know, it's gone smooth. Anytime you're dealing with the government, it's hard to get the approvals and the listings appropriate. But simple product, we have a court that was the most important part with the UL listing certification. And then we use typically a certified CFL light bulb that can be purchased at Home Depot or anywhere, and an LED bulb. So other than that, that's the main electrical certification that we had to work with.
Right. Now, very quickly, what is the web address for your website where buyers can actually see examples of your product?
Sure. NikiNuLites.com. My wife's name is Nicole, so we kind of wanted a hip, fun name, but we've kind of spelled it all different. It's NikiNuLites.com.
Got it.
So, new product, hip light, kind of a hip name. We tried to change it a little.
Change it around a little bit. So it's a very hip product, as you said, very cool looking. Reminds me a little bit, if folks, if you're familiar with those salt lamps that look really awesome, has the same type of the same type of look to it. But tell me a little bit more about your products. As I said, they are very unique, very cool looking, very neat. And so let the buyers that are listening know a little bit more about the product.
Yeah, I think that it's been interesting as we've set up shows. They say, well, what kind of product do you have? And we try to describe it. I don't know that we have the right words to describe it, Kev, but we are calling them an origami-style lantern. And so lantern, everybody's got used to the Asian lanterns or the star lights, but basically it's an origami-style puzzle lamp that we've constructed out of polycarbonate plastic, which is semi-transparent in some of the colors. Some of the dark ones are more dark, but it just creates a unique glow, particularly at nighttime. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it is a really good way to describe it. Now that you bring that up, it does kind of look like origami, the way that they're shaped, and it must look really cool when you see that lit up from the inside.
You know, it's everybody, probably not everybody's had the opportunity to fly into Tokyo or Hong Kong or some of the other Asian cities, even New York City for that matter, but it's neon-like, and so we have very bright, vivid pinks and teals and greens and even just good old white just stands out. But in the daytime, it's neat. In the nighttime, it's awesome.
Yeah. Now, how does a retailer benefit from carrying your product line?
You know, it's been awesome. We've had a lot of success with the retailers that being a little bit of a slowed down economy, everybody's looking for that new product that's kind of taken them over the top. And it sells itself with a display. They'll have 2 or 3 lanterns lit up, and people who want them just kind of like Bug's Life, follow the light. And so they really just, they display themselves, and it's been a new kick to maybe a little bit of a down economy at the price point from on a retail end from $25 to $45. It's just been a fit that most people can afford, and the lights kind of made them happy at the same time. So I think that's the best benefit that the retailers have seen, is it's unique, it's new, it's not something that everybody has and that has been beaten down in the marketplace.
You know, it's interesting because with my background in television, you always, as a guest, go into the green room, the color green. They put you into that type of a room, Tracy, because it makes you calm down, makes you relax. and we want people to be calmed down and relaxed when they go to get on camera to do an interview. So, yeah, I mean, you're using the same sort of thing with the colors in the lamp. They put out that color, and people, we human beings, we respond to that, don't we?
We do. You know, light has been amazing. I have been surprised at the shows that I've actually worked myself. The little girls love them because we can put white, purple, and pink together, or green and white. But, you know, there's the good old man colors. We got a black and green that's kind of a Kawasaki or a monster themed color that's been manly. But the elderly people have enjoyed it because it's light. And they'll see a pink or a green, and again, just the white that's elegant, and it makes them feel good. And might sound silly to say that, but that's been a big part of our business is they see them, and it's an impulse. I have to have that. I want to go home and plug that in.
Yeah. Now, what colors are your best sellers? Do you have colors that sell more than others?
We do. Right now, we're working on several colors, but our main palette right now is with, the more popular colors are white, green, pink, teal, and they can be solid, or you could buy 2 packs and combine 2 colors together, and of course the black works awesome. And so you put a black and pink together, and it gives you that, I guess, a Victoria's Secret feel. There's the black and green, it's that monster that we talked about, and it's very unique. And then you can get in on, I think the colors have depended on areas. There's the sports theme. You know, us being from Idaho, we got Boise State going on. One of our more popular fun rooms for a fun room is orange, white, and blue, and so it's for the Broncos. And so a lot of people have taken their school colors and tried to combine it. And as well, Kev, that's another point that kind of brings me to maybe share is there's been a whole part of the business that's kind of been fundraising. You know, in our neck of the woods, the schools are a little bit down on funds, and so instead of buying the typical cookie dough and the candy bars and popcorn, they have done well with these lights as a fundraiser, selling their own school colors in the community.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a good idea. Really good for fundraising. And how big are these? I mean, I've only seen them on the web page, what have you. What's the actual size?
We have 3 main sizes right now. We have a 12-inch, a 14-inch, and then an 18-inch. We also have other sizes that create different shapes that we use, but that's the 3 main sizes, small, medium, and large, as we would call it, that we're catering to.
All right, and along those lines, what new designs are you currently working on?
With this particular origami shape that we described, there's about 22 designs that can be made. We can make stars, we can make more of a pendant type shapes. There's just a whole bunch of fun shapes that kind of takes you back to the geometry days to make the shapes and describe them that way.
Yeah. Now, buyers are rather eclectic. So what type of stores are you finding buyers contacting you from? Arts and craft stores, I would, probably think of maybe even a gift store, something like that. But what have been the type of buyers that contact you?
That's a great question. I would have to say the most successful that we have seen has been more of the higher retail locations. Last week we was at a show, and a Ben Franklin store stopped by, and they do a lot of gifts, and they're excited for the upcoming Christmas shows. Any of the mall locations or the kiosks have been good because basically people, and so we've had a great, there's not fairs every day of the world, but there's basically where there's people collecting, they stop, and then all of a sudden 5 people, 10 people, 15 people combine, and so any type of a high retail location is probably what I would say the most strongest type.
You were saying before it's almost like an impulse buy. People see it, there's a wow factor, so anywhere where a retailer has a high traffic area, this would definitely benefit them because, like I said, they're going to go, oh, wow, check that out, and do the impulse buy.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's been crazy because I think it's very impulsive. I'm probably an impulse buyer myself. I try to work on that and try to cater. But at the lights or at the fairs or if you're at the mall at Christmas time, that's where we envision it fits in. And fall time with the Halloween and pumpkins. We have an orange light that symbolizes kind of a pumpkin, and that's been fun. But obviously, the Christmas colors are very popular. So the lights just talk to everybody in a different way.
That's interesting. Now, where do you see your company in a year, in 5 years?
You know, when I look back at a year, the growth has been steep. Really like to toot their horns, and it's been so impulsive, I guess, off of the last comment. Everybody just can't get enough right now, and I kind of always been very fond of the Pill Pet product, and I watched how they went from TV to Christmas to the kiosk to now they're on to different themes and Disney themes and whatnot, and I think that we probably got the same style of growth ahead of us. At least that's our goal.
That is fantastic. And Tracy, I want to thank you so much for joining me here on the podcast today. Is there anything you'd like to add before we go?
You know, I just would say get to the website, look at them. If you like light, one of the fun things, they definitely fit under the green category. If we use an LED bulb, they're half a watt. And so parents always ask, are they expensive to run or not? And so the little kids always like a night light in their bedroom. And that's probably been one of the bigger hits that we've had with some of the funner themed colors. Check it out. If we had to run it 24 hours a day all year round, it's about $1.80 in energy. So I think that it's very affordable, it's very cool, and kind of gives that kid that nightlight glow that they all have to have.
And folks, we've been speaking to Tracy Hillman of NikiNuLites. Tracy, thank you so much for joining me today. And folks, if you missed it before, you can check out these guys online at NikiNuLites.com. That's spelled NikiNuLites. That's NikiNuLites.com. Stay tuned for upcoming interviews with the industry's leading movers and shakers. Wholesale.fm and the Voice of Wholesale talks directly with suppliers, manufacturers, liquidators, show promoters, trendsetters, and more. This is Kevin Gallagher, the Voice of Wholesale.fm. Stay tuned for more great podcasts, and remember to check out our sister site, GetThatWholesale.com, the Internet's largest wholesale directory. You can contact me for more information on how to advertise or for an interview by calling 888-358-7822. Once again, that's 888-358-7822 at extension 707. Thank you.